Get ready to uncover truths and reality of today's politics. Here's your host, Lori Mills.
Welcome to another episode of Uncover California. Boy, we've got a packed show for you today. I'll tell you what, in today's society, what goes on the media and online, I get really frustrated sometimes. And when I need to cheer up, I go listen to the Midnight Rider, Karli Bonne, and I'm super excited that she's here with us today. Karli, welcome to the show.
Hello. I wanted to just one correction. It's Bonn'e, as in Monet.
Oh, Bonn'e. I had it wrong all this
Trump,
time.
He called me Bonne, Karli Bonne, and I was like, I don't care. President Trump can call me whatever he wants.
Yeah, exactly. At least he's calling you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Okay, so I'm in Bonn'e, California, and you're in New York, a state I used to love to visit, and I have to say I'm never going there again. What's going on the East Coast?
It's a mess. It's just a mess. And I think what best describes what's going on in New York is what's going on in the courtroom with Trump.
Yeah.
That is it's the pinnacle of ridiculousness and BS. And everything else in New York is just falling apart. It's falling apart.
It's shocking to me that your streets are not safe, kind of like here in California, and yet we've got these political persecutions going on. Mark Pomerantz recently pled the Fifth, stating that Biden wasn't involved, so he took the Fifth Amendment. You've got Colangelo, who's the prosecutor, who is number 3 in the Biden Justice Department. The thing is a freaking sham. So have you been updated at all about what's going on right now? Because I know they're in there discussing the instructions to the jury.
Yeah, that's what's going on now. I'm waiting to rip a video now. Trump and the team just walked out of the courtroom, but he didn't make a statement. So that probably means they're taking a break and going back.
Okay.
But what's going on is they're arguing what the judge is going to present to the jury. Now, remember, the jury now is off for a week.
Right.
And the jury is not sequestered, which means they're not huddled up in a hotel room with no TV, no iPhones or anything. They all went home. They're all going to have Memorial Day weekend. They're all going to see the TV in the Trump rally Thursday in the South Bronx. And they're going to see people talking about Michael Cohen. And they're going to see whatever, I know some of them watch MSDNC and CNN. That's what their news source is. And they're going to see how bad Trump, Orange Man, bad. So basically what's going to be happening with this jury is the information warfare.
Right.
And
which means people like us have to speak up.
Exactly. So I'm calling on everybody. Every day, at least take 1 minute out of every day to just post something positive on Trump or something negative on Cohen the Rat. Or just, you know what? I know everyone that watches you, they're just like me. This is an everyday thing that we do, putting the real information out there. All the keyboard warriors, all the patriots, this is what we do.
This is what we do.
I know, no one's going to let me down.
Well, you know what? I've been following you, honestly, for about 6 years. I was kicked off social media in 2020 because I did the terrible thing of posting Hunter's laptop story with the New York Post.
God, for you and everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, they wiped me out. They even took my business pages. It was crazy. Now, with you, what were you doing before you became the Midnight Rider, Karli?
Well, let's see. Like before I even got on social media, or just like how far back you want to go?
Well, you don't have to go to when you were 5. All I remember is I started following you. You came up with that great video where you had the hat on and you were singing rent free about every, the people with Trump derangement syndrome, and I was sold.
I'm
absolutely
surprised,
adore
you know,
you.
because a lot of people. I got an old account back thanks to ALX on Twitter, but I had like 8, 9 Twitter accounts. They kept taking me down, and
Right.
I just gave up on Facebook and Instagram. They don't like me at all, and you can't even share any links to me
Right.
whatsoever. You'll get a timeout, or they'll take you down. And I don't know why Facebook hates me so much. And
They don't like truth.
no, and basically, I had no social media. Thank goodness Getter came up, and then someone opened a Telegram account for me, and that's basically been my home base. You know, I'm on
Right.
True Social. I've had a couple TikTok accounts. I think I'm on my 8th. And now I just keep fighting. I'm like, why do you keep taking these videos down? They're just news clips, you know, and I'm
Right.
fighting with them. I got a 1-week suspension on this account that I'm holding on to for dear life. And it's not that I like any of these platforms like TikTok or, you know, Instagram or Facebook, but if it's information warfare, you have to be on these platforms.
Right. I see you on Twitter a lot. And again, as I get frustrated throughout the day, you have a way of making a terrible situation completely funny. So, what do you think about this Judge Merchant and his daughter who's making millions?
Well, that's what I want, that information to go out all week.
Right.
All week. Okay. There
All
was a
week.
great show of force today. Don Jr. was very smart. They did the presser today off away from the park because yesterday when Cash Patel and everyone tried to do it, they all got screamed down by the Antifa that hangs out in the park. And, you know, one guy got arrested because he was doing, you ready for this? I know you appreciate it. He was doing too much cowbell,
Uh,
you know, because they always bring noisemakers and stuff, you know,
right.
they bang a
Right.
drum. But this guy was doing too much cowbell and he actually got arrested because it's a statute about noise.
Oh,
Now, being
interesting.
the New Yorker, there should be a statute against the pot stink and the piss stink and the pickpocketing and everything else. But you know what? Not for nothing. He should have arrested him while they were trying to speak, but he waited till after.
Interesting.
But
And
it's
so
just,
where did
this
they
is
do the
New
presser?
York. The guy
Where
gets
did
arrested for too much cowbell after the fact. Okay. And I mean, this is the same park where it seems to have been memory hold that that guy set himself on fire.
Oh.
It's right
Yeah,
across the
interesting how
street
that
from the
happens.
courthouse, and that's where they've all been going to do these pressers of, you know, the show of force that's been coming for President Trump. And they've been haven't been too bad, you know, the yelling and screaming. But yesterday was Cash, and they don't want to hear Cash talk.
No, because he has facts.
Exactly. It's so funny that out of all the pressers, that was the one that got screamed over. And Cash
That is
stood there and he
interesting.
kept talking. And it was very funny that there's the microphones there. The microphone should have taken out a lot of that outside noise. You know, it was like
Right.
the fix was in. The fix was in. They did not want Cash to speak.
That's interesting. Wow. So yeah, so Judge Merchant, I don't trust this guy at all. I'm worried about these jury instructions and the fact that Costello they cut off and he wouldn't even let the head of the FEC come in to say this isn't a crime.
Well,
It's just ridiculous.
yeah. Well, this FEC thing during the deliberations, I just found out that the judge who is taking a couple steps back because he knows how bad he looks with all this nonsense. He said that he's not going to allow that in
Right.
presenting to the jury. So I think he's trying to save a little face. So this way, MSDNC and CNN will say, "Look, he is a good judge. Look how measured." You know, he's just throwing that out there, so they have a little biscuit to chew on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We all
And
know,
even
you know, he takes away the free speech. He doesn't let Costello talk. He doesn't let the FEC guy come in, but he's going to do this little thing to show how measured and what a good judge he is. he should be dismissing this case completely. It's a farce. It's a
He should be
farce.
disbarred, and Bragg ran on this, taking down Trump, is same as Letitia James and all these other Soros DAs. It's freaking ridiculous. And I wonder how many millions the judge's daughter has raised during this trial at this point.
Well, I'm sure Laura Loomer will have a dollar amount because she is digging on these people. She's incredible. I've been watching her post, and she's just getting the dirt on everybody. It's wonderful to watch real reporters doing real reporting and investigative work instead of talking heads with fancy hairdos and God knows what else.
Yeah, it's crazy. And you've got people that are being set free. I don't know if you heard that they released Laken Riley's killer. Now, the guy that killed Laken Riley, they set him off on parole, and yet the president is being persecuted for a bookkeeping error that he didn't even make, that had run the statute of limitations in 2006, I believe. And so they made it a federal case and then moved Colangelo from Biden's DOJ to prosecute. This is a kangaroo court, something we would see in Russia. I don't know how we get out of this, but again, it's one of the reasons I follow people like you, because you always make it funny.
Yeah, I try to keep the humor in it, because the one thing these people hate is to be mocked and laughed at, and they should be mocked and laughed at into oblivion, because these are not serious people, even though in their own private Idahos, they think that they're very serious and very credible. They're a joke. And I mean, even like some of these TV guys, they're getting chased down on the street and screamed at for their ridiculousness, which is beautiful to watch. Because, a day will come when they won't be able to walk down the street, and we're seeing it in real time. And I miss the days. It wasn't my era, but people used to get hit with tomatoes and vegetables when they would get up to a microphone, or that was street justice way back in the day. I think we need to bring that back.
Okay, tomatoes. We want tomatoes. Bring them back.
I don't know how expensive they are now.
Oh, good God!
You don't want to use eggs. Throwing eggs would be a good thing, but they're
eggs have gone up.
expensive.
They went from $3 for 12 to I think $8 for 12. So yeah, those are expensive too. I don't know what we could use.
Bidenomics is working, hon. Bidenomics
it's
working.
Not. Yeah. It's funny that you were talking about how these people cannot walk down the street. Ben Bergquam just put out a video where he was kind of chasing Adam Schiff around, who's the biggest piece of crap out here in California. And I'm sitting here thinking, now this man wants to be a senator. And then somebody was telling me that he wants to take Schumer's place as the leader. I mean, this is freaking nuts.
But see, that's how insane these people are with their delusions of grandeur. And the reason why they can think this way is because no one is held accountable.
Right.
All that happened to Adam Shifty Schiff, pencil neck watermelon head, was he was censured. And he was surrounded by the Democrats, and they all patted him on the, oh, it's okay, little buddy, it's okay. And he can still spew his nonsense.
Right. Well, and I think that our Congress needs to change laws on that. I mean, he is knowingly lying to the American people, as much of them are. And, we go back to Russiagate and everything that happened there. We know for a fact Hillary paid for it. She got a $600 slap on the wrist. We know the dossier was made up in a bar over beers, yet there's still people that are claiming that it's real. It's just insane how brainwashed these people are, and how the media continues to lie, and yet they can switch their story from left to right in a day, and their followers still believe them. What's it going to take to wake these people up?
Well, you have Nancy Pelosi going on TV still saying that all roads lead to Putin with her spasm hand, and they're still pushing the Russia,
right?
Which is insane.
Yeah, it never happened. I think they did $100,000 worth of Facebook ads in 2016. And in the meantime, we had CIA, FBI. They interfered in the damn election more than any of them did.
Yep. When you look at
Yeah.
the Twitter files, and you know, the fact that Joe Biden now wants to debate,
Huh.
I had this idea I had sent to Jason Miller, and it was Trump doing a debate, but the other podium was empty, and all that it showed was the video of every lie that Biden told in the first debate. And then after he tells a lie, Trump would be able to answer back with all the truths and say, this is what's happening now. We know you lied.
Right. And, you know, I'm thinking about these debates. CNN, no audience. Are they going to just cut Trump off and then they'll fact check him? And then,
well, no, what they're cutting the mics off.
Right. Right. But are they going to commentary between? The thing is a joke. It's an absolute joke. Although our president is strong.
I think the best way for Trump to handle it is to just let Biden talk. Did you hear him today? He said something at a speech. It was like, I made the video with side by side with Mars Attacks with one of the aliens.
Oh, I need to watch it. Where did you?
Just let him talk. Stand there, be statesmanlike. Let Biden do his weird stance like he's going to take a poop. Let him talk. Let him talk. And if he's not going to take the drug test, let him keep talking till the drugs start wearing off.
Right. Right. Although they'll probably say, oh, it's time to wrap up. Whatever he's on's going to be gone. Yeah, you know, and the man is...
They want to bait Trump. They want him to get angry. They want to have the so Biden can say, oh, you're an idiot. Oh, why don't you shut up? And he can have all his supposed Dark Brandon moments, which is, you know, I don't want him to fall in the trap. Because that's basically what they're setting up. Because if Joe Biden could get past this first debate, which is even before anything, but even before Trump has a VP.
Right.
Okay. This early debate, never before done in the history of debates, to be done in June.
Right.
Then he basically, Joe is saying, I get past this, then you don't try to replace me during the conference.
See, I'm a firm believer, and I've said it for a year. I think they're going to get rid of Joe at the convention, and I think Gavin Newsom will be the nominee, who is the biggest liar out there. I mean, the man is suave.
They can't do that because of Kamala. They can't.
I heard that she's gonna run for
all these people yelling, "Free Palestine" surrounding that convention. Now you're going to replace the vice president, female black woman?
I think it's possible.
Indian, but you're going to replace her?
I heard that she's been... I call him Guido the Killer Pimp. But I heard that he's going to let her run for governor of California, that there's deals in the work. I'm just hearing that from my little inside sources. He wants to be the president so bad, and she can't handle it.
She would run for governor if they lose, and then Gavin would run for 2028. That's what I heard. They can't replace her with Gavin.
What do you think can happen? I don't think Biden's going to make it. I just don't.
Well, that's why they're having this debate so early. And he agreed to it first, and they had to scramble because he agreed to it on what's his name, Fart Man show.
Oh, Howard Stern.
He went on Howard Stern and he said, "Yeah, I'll debate," and he wasn't supposed to say that.
Right. And when did Howard Stern become such a serious sycophant leftist?
I'll tell you exactly when.
Okay.
When Fartman bombed, he lost his mind. The embarrassment, I think, destroyed part of his brain.
That's
He's
interesting.
never been the same since he was hoisted on wires with his ass hanging out of chaps.
Yeah, I
And
remember
they took
that.
him across the stage. He has never been the same. He has never been funny again. He started going all lefty and hating everybody and everything. And then came along Trump, and he just said, "Oh, now there's something I could sink my teeth into and destroy him and take all this embarrassment off myself." People attack other people when they're insecure with themselves.
Right.
See, when
Right. So
Trump attacks, it's all tongue in cheek. Have you ever noticed that?
I think Trump is hilarious. I think he's
But
totally
he does it
funny.
as
Love
he does
him.
it like a bit. He does it like a comedy bit where Joe
Right.
Biden's like, he's gonna destroy everything. And now that they're putting out that his Trump's video he put out, he's a Nazi. Look at the screenshot from the video. He's a Nazi. And these are just evil, nasty people.
They
Trump,
are.
he says,
Well,
I would never say these things about a president. I respect the presidency. I respect it. But you indicted me. So the gloves are off. And even with the gloves off, he still makes it humorous.
right. He's hilarious. He's super
He could
funny. I
have
mean, people
destroyed Hillary while he was president, and he didn't. He
and
didn't.
in hindsight, he should have.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sitting here listening. Ivan Raiklan, who's with General Flynn, did a video. He was in the weaponization committee hearing the other day, and it was
Excellent video. What is that,
golden.
up to like 8 million views right now, that video?
I don't know, but I'm really hoping what he said does come to pass because we do need accountability. We're not going to have a country if this lawfare continues. We're just not. Have you had any inside information? Are we going to? I think all these people that put us through 2016, 17, and 18 should be facing treason charges, not have
You saw
jobs on
Comey. Have you seen
CNN.
that clip that's going around of Comey? Comey's all worried that him and McCabe, they're all going to get it if Trump comes back. They're
Well,
all
and they should.
fearful.
They should. I think we need public trials showing everybody what happened. It needs to be nationwide on every channel. And if CNN and MSNBC still wants to keep spinning lies, well, it should be an executive override of their network. Because the only thing
Well,
I think's going to save us from this is truth.
General Flynn was out here with his movie and everybody and Ivan out here in Ronkonkoma, Long Island. And I was sitting with General Flynn, while the second showing of his movie that day. And I was like, nothing's going to change unless there's consequences for these bastards. Nothing's going to change. They're
Right.
emboldened. They're emboldened, and you could put out a million movies. We could all put out videos. We could, do all these things. But until someone's sitting in a courtroom, I mean, look at the ridiculous case they have for Trump in the courtroom right now. This is the best they could do to get Trump. And look at all the dirt and horrible things that these people did. I mean, treasonous things.
Yeah,
And they're
absolutely
walking
treason.
around and they're sitting there on a panel on MSDNC and CNN, untouchable, writing books, going on vacations, putting out, vote for Biden. And like they're legitimate people that they deserve their freedom.
Right.
After the hell that they put us through. We went through hell because that drunken, nasty lush didn't win in 2016. And they've been covering it up ever since and making everything hell. And that's treasonous, where they'd rather the whole country burn and rule over the ashes than love their country and do what's right.
Right. And
this
they
is
should
demonic stuff. This is demonic thinking. This is not normal. This is not American. I think they should all be shipped over to Iran or something. That's what I think.
I agree. And we're talking You were talking about the Twitter files earlier, and we know for a fact now the Department of Defense, the CIA, the FBI have been literally working against the American people. Last time I checked, this country belongs to us, not them. We've got this invisible fourth branch of government that is running just total shot across this country, and they're tearing it apart. And it needs to stop. They do need accountability. And I just think we need to go back to live trials for all these people.
Didn't Trump want to bring back the firing squad?
I think I don't.
I think there
I'm
was
trying to think when that was.
Or it was an executive order or something of bringing back the firing squad.
Well, I'm not sure about that one. Any updates on the Trump thing?
Even in Congress, they should bring back dueling.
That could be good. That could be entertaining. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I just had a lady on that was talking about Social Security, and they've been spending our Social Security on hamster fights. Super exciting. Karli, I can't thank you enough for coming on. I hope you will come back someday. I adore you from afar on that little digital warrior. But anyways, tell people where they can find you.
It's Karlushka P or Karli Bonne on Twitter or X. I'm sorry, X. Truth Social and Getter. And it's Karli Bonne, the Midnight Rider, on Telegram, and also Midnight Rider, I think 883, or I don't know what number I'm up to over there on TikTok. But I know nobody wants to be on TikTok, but I go on there so you don't have to. So nobody worry about it. And
thank you for your sacrifice.
Just stay in the fight. Just stay in the fight. God is on our side, but he's not going to do it all for us. All right? If you want something, you got to fight for it. And I'm going to be posting videos. I am going to the rally in the South Bronx on Thursday. So look for videos. I want to interview people and see who shows up at this thing. Because it might be very, very interesting.
I hope it's the hugest success. I hope it's his biggest rally yet. And I hope you just kill it. I'm sure you will. Well, thanks for coming on. And I'll see you in the Twitterverse.
I'll see you in the Twitterverse. Bye, guys.
Bye. I am super excited. We have a new sponsor at Uncover California. We have the MAGA Mall, and look at these hats. This hat is a great conversation starter at the airport. I can promise you that. Anyways, after the commercial, I'm going to give you an update on what happened at the California GOP Convention. And after that, we're going to have Nona Fisher on talking about the government stealing our Social Security. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the MAGA Mall. We have the largest selection of the finest quality MAGA caps and Trump caps that are made. We have over 250 hats and 1,000 different products in 28 product categories. All the caps are made from premium cotton twill. Everything on them is embroidered. As a matter of fact, in the last election cycle, we donated over 45,000 caps to Trump-endorsed candidates and conservative causes all the way across America. And you can buy any of our products by going to our website. It's at themagamall.com, like on the sign over here, and use promo code CALI, and that's for Uncover California. That will get you a 10% discount off of all of our products and also help this worthy cause. And remember, it's always a MAGA day at the MAGA Mall.
Welcome back. I wanted to give you a quick update on something that happened at the California GOP Convention over the weekend. I submitted a resolution that was to protect the children against gender mutilation and gender theory, and it passed in committee unanimously. So kudos for that. Right now, I'd like to introduce you to a few candidates running for our state government. Watch this and then wait, because Nona is going to be on to talk about Social Security being stolen by our government.
Well, look who I just ran into. State Senate candidate
Lucy Volotsky, and we go way back. She was part of the original political Charlie's Angels, which was actually Rick's Angels. And I did see Christina earlier. We're going to have to get the three of us back together again.
Of course we have to.
Yes, tell everybody about your race and this terrible person you're running against.
Oh, definitely. My name is Lucy Volotsky. I'm running for California State Senate. My district is 27, part of Ventura County and LA County. Who I'm running? First of all, I'm running for faith, family, and freedom. We have to bring this back to our state. And I'm running against Henry Stern. That is exactly a copy, goes side by side with Gavin Newsom.
Ooh, he's Guido the Killer Pimp.
Yes.
That's what I call Gavin Newsom.
Well, you know, everything was Gavin Newsom's interested. He checked the box with him. Then that's why he has to go. This man, I know him quite a few years already. He has to go because he doesn't do anything good for our state.
You're right. So you guys, support Lucy. Lucy, give them your website.
Yeah, my website is voteforlucy.com. VOTEFORLUCIE.com. And I'm looking forward to all of your vote. We need to win this, and don't forget to register to vote neither.
Yes, register.
Hey folks, Ted Nordblum here at the California GOP Convention, and having a great time so far. We're just hanging out and getting to know people. Ventura County, so you guys got to vote for me. Come up and I live in my district, 42. Simi Valley to Malibu, Camarillo to Bel Air. We need a lot of support and help. If you can go to my website, tednordblum.com. That's NORDBLUM, and let's take back America.
Have you visited the MAGA Mall yet to get your Trump merchandise? Make sure to use promo code Karli when placing your orders. If you're not aware, we are having a Trumptilla in Oxnard's Channel Islands Harbor on June 30th. The boat will be leaving the dock at 1 o'clock, and we will be the lead boat on the Scarlet Belle, which is an old paddle ship. So if you would like to come, please make sure to go to uncoverkarli.com, click on events, and buy your tickets. They are selling out. Welcome back to Uncover California. You know what? Social Security, I've always had questions about because I don't think it's going to be around when I need it, and it's definitely not going to be around when our kids need it. Our government's been stealing from it, filling their coffers, and I've got somebody that's looked into this quite a bit on the show today. Nona Fisher, welcome to Uncover California.
Thank you. It's a great privilege to be here, Lori. Thanks for having me.
Well, tell everybody a little bit about your background and how you started digging into what's happening with Social Security.
Okay, well, obviously I'm a senior, and
And tell them how old you are.
Oh, do I have to?
Not
Yes.
if you don't want to.
No, it's okay. I'll be 86 in August.
And she looks fabulous.
Well, thank you. So back in 2005, I started hearing rumors about Social Security, and I became very interested in it. And so I did a video back then that is on rumble.com, Social Screwity, and I call it Screwity because the government is screwing up our Social Security. My background is 35 years in the secretarial field. I became an executive secretary and then administrative assistant to CEOs. So I think that has helped me learn to research and plan for all of this.
Now, what waste did you find? What theft did you find, I should say?
Oh, dear. Well,
there was something about hamsters.
Yes, we'll get into that.
Okay.
But first, and I have links on every important fact that I state here. And first, there is something called the U.S. debt clock. And when you go into the website, there's this big green screen with all these numbers flashing all over. It's a little over intimidating. But if you go down to the bottom right, there's Social Security liability. And that is the money the U.S. government owes Social Security, take a breath, over $26 trillion. T is in trillion.
Now, for the people out there, when we pay Social Security, I'm thinking I'm creating a retirement fund for myself down the road. That's not happening, is it?
No, it was set up as a retirement fund with its own board of trustees in 1935 by FDR, President Franklin Roosevelt. And the Congress backed him up in 1935, setting up FICA taxes. And that I can never remember the name of, but it's Federal Insurance Contributions Act. And it is a tax. And all that money is to secure Social Security and pay for all the benefits. Well, since 1983, there has been a surplus every year, and that is supposed to be invested in Treasury bonds. And as new retirees claim benefits, the bonds would be cashed in to pay their benefits, but the surplus would keep going and creating more Treasury bonds. Somehow, FICA, it got mixed up. FICA helps the president set up the federal budget every year, but Congress oversees the paying of the funds. So that accessed all the money to Congress, and they've been siphoning it off. For instance, in 2008, I believe it was, George W. Bush, president, used Social Security funds to bail out the big banks when they were failing. And then from there on is when Congress got into, I think it's probably from lobbyists saying, hey, I want this done, but Congress was granting grants to universities to do studies. And one of them was watching hamsters that have been given steroids fighting for $3 million.
So $3 million of our tax dollars that is supposed to be put into a retirement account was put in to watch hamsters fighting?
It's better.
Okay, go on.
2.7 million is to convince Ethiopians to wear shoes. But my favorite, I'm sorry, I laugh at this, and it's not funny. Over 680,000 was given to a university to study the mating habits of parrots. Now, everybody needs to know that. I mean, but not on my Social Security money.
Well, and they shouldn't be stealing from it, and I'm assuming there's no plan to ever pay it back, and how could they?
Yeah, well, supposedly they borrow, quote, borrow it. That's the catchphrase today. But now if I went into your purse and took your money without telling you and without asking your permission, that's theft.
Absolutely.
All right. So the government, the executive branch, and Congress is stealing our Social Security money. It counts up to grand larceny, and there's no other word for it. It is Social Security theft. And they are taking it, now President Biden and Congress sent a lot of Social Security money to Ukraine to help them with their war.
Well, and to pay their pensions. I've seen a lot of that too.
Yes.
And it's interesting the fact that, I stand with the Ukrainian people. The Ukrainian government is a different story. Our government, and we know from Biden, the big guy, that basically they have been laundering money through Ukraine for decades. It's the government there's corrupt, and there was just an election there. However, now, Zelensky has decided that he's going to stay president. So much for democracy, right?
Right.
So what else? I remember back in the day, we didn't have a Federal Reserve.
Right.
We didn't have Social Security tax.
Right.
And the Federal Reserve isn't even part of the U.S. government. So we've got this independent company stealing money from the taxpayers, printing money, and devaluing our dollar. Now, you had stated earlier, you were talking a little bit about how you feel that they're coming after the kids, the seniors, and everything else. Do you want to explain that a little bit?
Okay. By corrupting the children's minds in school, and now they're talking about cutting Social Security to the point of $1.7 trillion, which will bankrupt it. And with the prices of food. So this is hitting all of the seniors and the disabled. So I think those three groups are really in trouble. It looks like the government is targeting us because they're making the cost of living has just gone out of sight.
Yeah. The stagflation, I remember in 2020 I was paying $3.50, not that I should drink it, but for a 12-pack of Pepsi.
Right.
And now it's almost $10. And I did hear today that Biden is now stealing again from the strategic oil reserves so he could lower gas prices for the election. They seem to do that. They try to secure the border, do all the things that they've destroyed, acting like they've fixed it. But I'm concerned. I'm 58 years old.
Okay.
I'm assuming when I get to retirement age, by then there may not be any money left because as we're looking at it, there isn't money now.
No, the 26 trillion is the debt. The government says they're paying interest every month, but not a penny of the interest is going toward that principal. And the interest doesn't come anywhere near covering the benefits monthly. The Social Security trustees gave their annual report back in, I think it was January, and they said Social Security will be solvent to pay 100% of benefits until 2033. And then they'll have to cut back to 77% of benefits if it isn't increased. And I know they can increase the FICA taxes or maybe raise the age for people to retire. But otherwise, it's in trouble. They've got to change it, but not cut it. That'll bankrupt it.
What do you think about our younger generations, let's say people that are millennials or people that are in their 20s, because it's definitely not going to be around for them. Yeah. Can you think of another plan that people could do? I don't think they should have to pay in.
Yeah, the millennials right now are blaming my generation for using their Social Security money, and that's not it. We paid into it. I started paying at age 14 when I got a job after school.
Yeah,
and so I've been paying all my life until I retired.
Right.
So don't blame me. Don't blame us retirees. It's the federal government stealing from you, not us. And as I said, that's grand larceny.
Right. Well, and we all know that our government spends so unwisely, and they're never going to cut back on spending. They'll find something else stupid to do. I know at one point I heard about a story where they used $250,000 to move a tree. And I'm like, gosh, I could have had that done for you for probably $1,000 max. So what do you see going forward? What do you think that people should do to try to reverse this?
I think everybody needs to call Washington, D.C., call all the senators, call all the House of Representatives and say, stop stealing from us and help us find a way to correct this. I know they want to privatize Social Security, but that will put it in the hands of a corporation, which means the surplus will go to enrich the stockholders and the executives, and maybe, just maybe, increase the benefits a little. But who knows? Because the corporation will take precedence. And the other thing was, they said, well, if they cut it, that would make it a welfare program. But then the government would still keep the FICA taxes, and they would have more to spend.
Which is ridiculous.
Yes.
And it's theft. Again, I don't think we should have ever had Social Security. I think that we, the citizen, know how to spend our money better than the government does. That's for sure.
Well, this was back in 1935, and FDR watched the thousands of seniors and disabled die from starvation during the Great Depression and World War II. And his dream was that no more senior citizens or disabled should die of starvation. And that was why he started this fund.
Wow.
And then in 1935, Congress backed him by starting the FICA. And that was to ensure the money would always be there.
But it's not going to be.
No, over the years they've corrupted it so badly that it's gone. And I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, other than contacting Washington and saying, you guys get your heads together, we don't need this 1.7 trillion cut that they say is going to happen. And I do have a link to all the people in the House of Representatives that voted to send that to a commission to decide if they're going to do it. And so I have links to all this.
Okay, what website should people use if they want to contact their representative? So you want to contact your local Congress member, you want to contact your senator, and again, you guys, this is your money. You have been ripped off. They're spending it on hamsters. It's just beyond ridiculous.
And parrots.
And parrots. And parrots. You know, you gotta take care of those parrots. They should have never touched it.
No, they never should have.
Do you have the website that people can go to?
Well, what I did was I called City Hall and said, who's my representative for my district? This is my address. And they gave me the representative's name. And then all you do is go into the internet and search the name of you say House of Representatives in your district, and it'll come up.
Okay.
And the same for senators.
Okay, Nona, if anybody wants to get a hold of you, do you have social media?
Well, this social scrutiny, I've got 16 pages here that I'm going to do another broadcast on.
Okay.
And that will be on rumble.com. Right now you can find the video for social scrutiny, but this is going to be social scrutiny too, and I hope to have it up within 2 months.
Okay, and what is your Rumble page?
Well, I haven't got that yet.
Okay, so
Sorry.
how are you putting it up on Rumble if you don't have a page yet?
Well, I have a page, I just don't know. It's just rumble.com and social scrutiny.
Okay.
You go into rumble.com and then it'll have the search.
Right.
And just put social scrutiny and you'll find it.
Okay, everybody, social scrutiny. Make sure to go there, watch Nona's videos, and call your representatives. It's up to you to take this country back. It's up to you to hold your elected accountable. And if they don't want to do the right thing, start supporting candidates that will. Thank you so much for tuning in to Uncover California this week. Next week, make sure to tune in. We have an incredibly special episode. We're going to have Shayna Chappelle, who is the mother of Kareem Nakuli, who was killed at Abbey Gate. We need to remember the fallen that Joe Biden sent to their demise. Tune in next week to Uncover California. And until then, have a great day. Bye.